it's not a remake of it. It's based
different. Welcome back. This is part 4, Mark and Joe show. We were talking about this is years in review, and we were talking about movies.
We left off the last one with
2017, the best and worst of 2017.
Yep. So far, we're doing okay with some of the best. I mean, we've already covered a lot of the worst.
This one I refuse to see.
Well, I don't know.
Just looking at the picture.
It's supposed to be a prequel to the original.
I don't know if it's a prequel, a remake. I don't care.
It's not going to be the same as the other.
I mean, we talked about this before.
I know you cannot replace Tim Curry as
replace Tim Curry as Pennywise the Clown. There's just no way that's possible. And second, some movies you shouldn't make prequels or sequels to begin with. They should just be well left alone. Yeah. If you wanted to do something special for Stephen King's It, here's what Hollywood should have done. They should have remastered the original It and maybe brought in some cut-out scenes that made it onto the director's floor, the chopping floor. Yeah. And stuff like that. And maybe added in, like they did with like Grease and stuff. Like came out with a 25th anniversary edition with extra scenes and stuff never before seen footage and behind the scenes interviews and stuff like that. Because we like to see stuff like that, you know. I mean, we're curious people. That helps. I love the interviews I saw in one of that Grease things. Well, but now back to some of the other movies.
It made it in 57th position, by the way. And then after the one I last mentioned, which was Bright Lights with Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, it's more like a documentary. I was looking it up a little more, and it was, it's supposed to be a really good one from what I read. And it's even got 100%. It's got 100% on this one.
Did those two kind of have a rocky relationship?
I think they did. Yeah, they did a little.
Because of Hollywood.
And then,
bullshit.
Of course, you get further down. There's some in between that just kind of type of thing with me. John Wick Chapter 2. I've seen that one.
That looked like a good movie, but
it was okay. But here's one too that I own and I've seen. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
They got that one in the 59th position, and I think that one should be
up
a little higher.
I think so.
Yeah, that should have been
Most of the Marvel movies, in my opinion, should be up in the higher, more like top 20-ish.
As long as they did a good job. There's been a few that I've been disappointed on, and there's a few that they should have. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet.
Haven't seen it yet either. I'd like to.
Yeah. Probably end up getting it on.
I'll get it on DVD just to complete my collection.
I'm already kind of scanned down to the 80s now. Where they're in
Thor Ragnarok was out.
Thor Ragnarok is up at the top, up here well, not top, but it's up in the 10th position.
Well, you can't go wrong with a Thor movie. I mean, those guys that they got playing.
The first two I own, and they are pretty damn good.
That Chris Hainsworth and that other guy, playing, the one that plays Thor and the other guy that plays Loki, man, they nailed those characters.
Oh yeah.
They did. They really did. They did the comic books justice with the Thor movies.
Well, I'm already down here. I got back down to where I was. There's one movie that did not make the list, and I think they screwed up by not putting it on the list.
What's that?
It's one of my absolute favorites, and I own it. It's Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah,
the live-action one. Live-action Ghost in the Shell. I think that was a very, very well-done movie. It was... Well, I personally like it because of the fact that I like anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this one's
be
a
something
live
I watched.
action.
You've tried to get me to watch it, and I still.
I'm not asking you to watch anime. I mean, this one
I'm
here.
not big on anime either, but I watched the movie. It was a
I
good
might.
movie.
I might still. I've seen little bits.
It's based on the manga.
So
they did their own storyline with it, but they also gave tribute.
I'm not as big as fan as he is.
They also gave tribute in the movie, some of the scenes and stuff and things that they put in there. To the manga anime itself, and they executed this movie extremely well.
Well, maybe it was because it was a low budget or an indie movie that
No,
it's not
it
on your
wasn't a low
list.
budget, and it wasn't an indie movie. It was actually a big Hollywood movie. And I believe it did a really, really good job. And then another one that I don't find on here is one that just got released on the DVD in October or November, and that's Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
That was new too.
That one was
That
really
sounds
good
like
as
an
well.
interesting movie just in its title.
Oh, it was really good. One of the directors, I think it was from The Fifth Element,
What's the
was
one?
involved in that.
What's the one that you mentioned about the Planet of the Apes movie?
Oh, War for the Planet of the Apes. I
I
got all three of those.
gotta see that one. 'Cause
Some
if
voodoo.
Another
it's-
good one.
If it's anything like the other ones that I've watched,
That's the new ones.
yeah, I know.
That's the new
If
ones.
it's like I gotta say this about those Planet of the Apes movies since we're on the movies, because they did an incredible job.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up watching the Planet of the Apes,
originals,
the original 1960 something movies. Okay.
Another good one was
Now with all the added special
yeah.
effects and the way they did that, I was very
Have you seen Kong
impressed.
Skull Island?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was a
and
good movie.
that's another
that
one
was
that's
very
not
good
on the
one.
list. That was the top
That was a
100
good
that I
one.
was looking at there.
Now, let's talk about a few of the TV shows that we've seen come out. That came out in 2017. Some of them. Now this is where I saw this, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, but in 2017, Netflix started doing a lot more original TV shows and TV series and stuff like this, and started coming out with them. And one took a hit by the critics, okay, and it has a very, 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 very reputable. She's got a high reputation as a great actress. Okay, she was in that movie Mercy.
I know
Kathy Bates.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She's a good
They
actress.
they came out with a
Pardon
movie.
me.
They came out with a TV series. Okay, that starred Kathy Bates, but she's a
I
stoner.
like Kathy Bates. She's good.
She's a stoner, and
Yeah.
she runs that.
I've seen it. It's funny.
And I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny.
And
Yeah.
these people are out there criticizing it and saying that she shouldn't have done it. I think they couldn't
That's
have
because
picked.
they're anti-marijuana
Well,
people.
I
that's
think
why.
they couldn't have picked a better actress for the role.
She did
To
good.
tell you the truth, to play an old hippie
She's
lady
funny.
like she does.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the name of that movie because it kind of that TV series, and it just kind of. Have you brought them up yet? Can you bring that up?
I don't
No.
have them on here
I
yet.
can't remember the name of it right now either.
But it's a Netflix original,
Yeah, it's funny.
and it's all about Kathy Bates owning a pot dispensary, a medical marijuana
She's got goofy
dispensary.
people that work for her,
And
goofy
she's got some
security guard.
really goofy characters working for her, and it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you had another season come out, and and because of some of the stuff we talked about earlier that was happening this year, the show's losing one of its main actors and characters. Plus, it's losing its producer and director, and I think he does some other behind the scenes stuff.
The Ranch.
But it was a ranch
Oh.
that had Aston Kutcher and Danny Masterson, who unfortunately won't be there after
Deborah
this,
Winger was in
and
it
Deborah
too, wasn't
Winger,
she?
one of my favorites from Urban
Yep,
Cowboy,
and one of the
and the one and
greatest actors
of all time, Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, ew.
Yeah, I mean that
Women still have
show.
the hot to trots for
That
him.
show got me hooked.
There's
you
women
know.
who still have the hot to trots for him, and he's in his
Yeah, but it's
60s or 70s.
that's what TV should be like. Some of these TV shows would be like, because that's like reality on a ranch. I mean, the father's not going to say good job all the time. He's going to call you a fucking dumbass if you do something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, come
It's
on.
funny,
My dad
yeah,
was
pretty
my
much
dad
it.
would have been a lot like Sam Elliott.
Mhm.
In that aspect. Or Red Foreman.
You know,
Now there was
yeah.
a
Oh yeah.
I mean, just don't do it. Hollywood, don't do any shows. Don't do any shows about 2000 like the 70s show because you fucked up when you did that 80s show. But, you know, that was probably, some of that was the only good that came out, was the movies and... Disjointed, yeah. Now that's the one I'd watch. That's funny as hell. You know.
Oh, the name of the show, yeah, that was funny.
Let's see, what else we got to look forward into today? Oh, Netflix is raising their prices, and they notified us all in 2017.
That's not that big of a
$11 for,
but you know what?
Unlimited streaming.
Now think about this.
Cheap.
Now think about this, though.
And
wait,
they did their original series.
Let's go back.
They just released a movie with Will Smith in it, and it's actually a pretty good movie. It's called Bright.
But now listen to this. Now, if net neutrality doesn't get overturned, you're all fucked because Netflix can raise their prices too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and also
and
the thing is Netflix.
And then
is
it'll
one
be.
of them
and then you could get
that
all
can
of
be
a sudden
targeted by these ISPs because they're not an ISP.
Right.
They're a
So
user, not a,
if
not
you
a
don't
provider.
have and if you don't have the right ISP or something like that, you could get. What is that? Refreshing or what is that? Where it's like you get the little thing in the circle.
No, it keeps going and going and going. It's the refresh and the load.
Buffering. That's it. Buffering.
Yeah.
It keeps buffering. You want to see the buffer screen a lot? Don't say nothing about net neutrality and just let them get away with it.
Dude, I thought we already did net neutrality.
I know,
man.
but I
Come
mean
on.
that just kind of goes. Well, think about it. We got onto some Netflix originals with some of the TV shows. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, reality sucks because it can hit you anywhere. So it just goes to prove you how that can hit you. I mean, people like their little phones like that. You ain't going to be able to do that on your little phones.
No, probably not.
Apple had to settle a lawsuit this year too because of slowing the speeds.
their older phones.
Slowing the speeds on the older phones.
Slowing down because of the batteries.
Yeah.
And they did it to save battery life, and they didn't tell their customers. And
Yep.
well, their customers.
You know what?
A little pissed.
Steve Jobs would be pissed off as all fucking hell right now.
Oh God, he's probably turning over
You know,
in
in
his
his
grave.
grave 1,000 times over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pathetic.
That guy got screwed.
Well, it wouldn't happen if it was Steve Jobs still running that company.
Anyway, what do you think about this year? I mean, we can make this our last one.
All right.
Well, what do we gotta think about this year? I mean, if we had to sum it up, man, what would we say? What has it been a good year? Has it been a bad year? Has it been a mediocre year?
It sucked.
I think the worst part about this year is
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
a minus 19.
well, that would be because of what happened.
Well, that's because we got Trump
it's
elected
'cause we got a
president.
fake president.
You
We got a
know,
fake presidency.
fucking
fake,
dumbass.
fake administration. And we've actually got a fake fucking Congress and Senate too, because you know
Yeah, I mean, it
the
just proves one
Republicans are going to
thing.
go and do what they want to do, and the Democrats aren't going to grow a pair of fucking balls to take care of it.
You know, I think he just became a bigger liar when he became a politician.
Actually, what happened is whenever the people became complacent and they put him in office, they made him the biggest goddamn liability that our country ever had.
I'd put it at a negative number. It's a bad year.
It is a bad year.
I'm not looking forward to 2018
The
because
only
it's
thing
going to
that's going to
suck
save
worse.
us in 2018 is that Robert Mueller sets down a couple of indictments and
I'd like my dream to
and
come
takes
true.
his ass
yeah,
out.
anyway, go off fucking radar.
not just him, but
I'm
takes
looking
out
forward to
all
seeing
of them.
some people in orange jumpsuits and some handcuffs.
But you know,
Well, that's the problem, though. If you put Donnie in an orange jumpsuit, he's going to start looking more like an orange instead of a Cheeto.
He was an orange.
this year just sucked. It
Donnie
got
doll
worse.
hands.
Got worse. We got a Russian's puppet in office.
Yes, we did.
You know,
Yes,
and,
we did.
and that's going to make this country great again. I think not. It's making it worse. I'm not looking forward to 2018 if it's going to keep going down this path.
Well,
Something's
we'll have
got
to
to be
see.
done. People have got to speak up.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
Make your voices heard.
I think we had
Post
kind of
on
a mediocre
Facebook.
year. And my suggestion to everyone is don't sit on your ass. Get out there. Get active.
Well, if you got to sit on
Take
your
action.
ass, sit on your computer and start writing to these people, sending them emails. You know, get involved, sign petitions. Do research. All right, we're done. We'll see you in 2018.
Happy New Year.